Welcome back to the Crochet Karate. So my friends over at Yarnspirations.com. Got a beautiful fall leafy banner for you. Beautiful maple leaves here, and this has been designed by Jennifer Poink. Today we're going to be using a 5mm crochet hook, and you can use your Red Heart Super Saver for this. Karen 1 pound, Bernat Super Value. You're good to go. We're going to be making these leaves. You can make them as an independent, or you can use them as the banner, just like you see. So today I'm going to show you how to make one of these. So as a Canadian, it's very hard to actually find our leaf that is really kind of easy to make. This is probably the easiest one I've ever seen. I wish I would have found it years ago. And it's really quite wonderful. You can see back and the front looks great. And so it's going to have a little bit of a loop here so that you can hang it if you wish, like a banner. And if you don't want to have that hanging, you can still create it like that and you would never really see it. You could sew it to the side of a hat, a basket, anything like that, and that's good to go. So 5mm size H crochet hook. Let's grab your yarn, and this is only consisting of 3 rounds, and once you understand this, I think it's good to go. We're gonna be doing a magic loop or a magic circle to begin. So let's begin a magic circle. It's called an adjustable circle, if you would like to call it that. And so usually you would create a slip knot just like you would with the regular idea, but with the adjustable circle or the magic circle, I'm just gonna call it a magic circle because that's what I know it to be. What I want to do is that I want to lay it into the hand so that the strand is coming up over top of my hand, just like this. So just leave it a little bit longer. And what I want to do is that I want to rotate my hand, and I want to just extend 2 fingers out and rotate around my 2 fingers, and then just turn it up over and cross, just like that. Okay, let me show you that too again. So lay the yarn in your hand like this. The yarn tail is in front. I want you to extend 2 fingers. Okay, so see how I'm pinching this? Go over and cross like that. Okay, one more time. So in the front, extend 2 fingers and cross over. Once you've crossed, I'm just using this finger here to stabilize it, to hold it, and all I'm just going to do is just come up underneath the front one, the first one, and then grab this yarn. So come up under the front and grab this yarn and pull through and just rotate your whole hand. So just pull through and rotate. Once you have that done, just let your fingers out and keep the straggler with the circle itself, and just grabbing the yarn from the yarn ball and pull through one, and that will lock that. So when you go to crochet, you want to crochet directly over top of these 2 strands here, the circle and this, and when we're done we're just gonna pull it shut and everything will be good to go. So let's begin round number 1. Round number 1, I've already had you chain 1 to start, so it's already locked, just to make it easier for you. So I want you to put 11 single crochets into the center of that ring. So when you go to do this, you want to make sure you're going up over top of these 2 strands for the entire time. So let's count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So there's only 11 there. So it's not like a typical circle where you would have 12. Once you have your 11 in, you can just pull up a loop here and just let it come out, and just using your tail here, I want you to pull the circle shut. So just pull it and it will close down the circle. Pull it nice and tight so that you end up with virtually just a little gap in the middle. So now what I want you to do is that tail will fall out on you if you cut it. So you have to grab a tapestry needle at this point and just secure it in. Some people make these adjustable circles, they don't bother to do that, and then their hat or something falls apart at the top. So just on the back side of there, so this is the front, so on the back side what I want you to do is just take the tapestry needle and just drag it through a few of the strands on the back side. So the secret is to do this is that pull it through 3 times, and therefore it should never fall out on you. Again, just staying within different sections here on the back side. Once you've done your 3 times, that's considered a charm, and 3 times is a charm, and just simply just trim it and you're good to go. And before we move on, just put this back onto the hook and just slip stitch to the 11th one away. So it's the very first one. If you're not sure, count it back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So it's the very first one that you can see. but always count it back if you're unsure, and just slip stitch, and there you're good to go. So this center will never fall out on you, and it's good to go. So let's move on to round number 2. Moving on to round number 2. What I want to do is that I want to chain a total of 2, and it counts as your first double crochet, and they're doing that so that it keeps it nice and tight, and I'm gonna show you a cheating technique at the end of this round. So in the same one where you've done the join, I want you to put another double crochet in there. So now what you're going to do for the remaining 10 that you have left, it's gonna be 2 double crochets in each. Stay tuned for the end of this round. I'm gonna show you a cheating technique in order to hide a gapping space. So it's 2 double crochet in each, and just wait for me in the very last one and I'll show you how to cheat the system. So when I'm coming all the way around, I now have 10 groups of 2, and that includes that first one. Okay, so that when I count, so this is my last one. So what I'm gonna do is that if I finish it typically the way that you normally would, you would end up with the gapping space that you would have right in the center. So what you can't see it here because I cheated. So what I want you to do in the very last one is put the 1 double crochet in first, and then we're gonna treat this stitch and this gap space here. This is just a space, it's not a stitch. So what we're going to do is we're gonna put those 2 together as 2 double crochet together. So wrap the hook coming into the same one, pull through 2 and hold it. Don't finish that. Come into this gap space which is not a stitch, wrap first, going in, pull through 2 and hold it. And now you have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over it and pull through all 3. Now what you've just done is you just filled in that gap space with this extra one here, but you have not changed the counts because you have only one. This is only considered 1 stitch. So now you're gonna slip stitch now to the beginning, chain 2, and then fill it in like this, and see, nice and closed. So it's a great way to fill that in. If I would have left that out, you would have saw a gap right there. So let's move along to your final round, number 3. So let's begin your final round. Where you are, we want to just move on and advance to the next stitch that's available to you and start a petal. So what we're going to do a petal is that we start off first with 2 double crochets in this stitch. So there's gonna be a lot all in one stitches. So 2 double crochet to start, and then we want to extend the petal or the leaf out more. So now we're gonna apply 2 trebles. So wrap the hook twice and treble 2 times. And then the tip of the petal is done with a picot. So in order to do that, what we're going to do is that we're gonna chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and right where you see where these 2 come together, put the hook in, yarn over and pull through that and the original. And now we're gonna come down the leaf side just like what you did, but we're gonna come down backwards. So we're just gonna start off and backwards, meaning that we're gonna start off with our 2 trebles first, and then we're gonna so that was the second one, and then we're gonna apply 2 double crochets into the same one. So there's a lot going on in the one stitch. Now what you have to watch out for when you're doing this, just kind of yank on it a little bit and you will see the next stitch available to you. Skip it, and I want you to come into this very next stitch just like you have here, and we are going to put in a slip stitch. So okay, and then that finishes off one side or one of the 5. So let's begin. I'll show you one more time. So you're gonna skip the next one and you're going to double crochet in the twice in the next one after that. So 1 and 2. You're then going to apply 2 trebles to make it bigger. So 1 and 2. You're gonna apply a picot at the end of the tip. So 1, 2, 3, and to see where these 2 come together, just slip through it, pull through and through, and then coming into the same one you're gonna do 2 trebles. So you're making it go back down the other side, and then 2 doubles, 2 double crochet, and that will complete another side. So then you just kind of pull on it a little bit, you can see it, so skip and then slip stitch in the next, skip, and then start all over again and create another side of your leaf petals. So let's please do that all the way around. There's gonna be a total of 5 of these petals all the way around, and I'll see you then. So let's finish this off. So you have 5 points that you see, and so we're gonna skip the next one and slip stitch into the next one after that. So because we're now about to start the stem, we want to get into the next one, which is the middle in between the two petals that you see, and then we're gonna chain 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So if you count back to the fourth one, so 1, 2, 3, fourth, get to the fourth and just go in the back hump of that chain and then yarning over through and through, so it's a slip stitch. That is the loop that creates the for the actual banner if you wish, and it's pretty much invisible if you leave it there as well. So let's continue along. You're just gonna slip stitch on the back hump of the chain all the way back to the leaf, and coming right up into the last one here in the chain, and then I want to slip stitch right into the leaf itself. So slip and through. So now you're going to finish off. So just keeping an extra long tail so that you can use that as a sewing strand, and then just pull through and tighten. Turn it over to the back side of the leaf, and actually if you've noticed, I just cut the middle one here. I did an outtake and I had to redo the leaf off camera, and I did when I actually finished it and I forgot to push record, and then I had everything sewn in, and then when I went to undo it I ended up tearing apart stitches. So this is actually a different leaf completely. So I'm just going to weave it in and out a total of 3 times, and when you do that it should never fall out of your project, and just stay to the back side of that. And that would be how you would complete the leaf. Now the instructions for the banner, there's beads involved, and let me show you my other leaves. So here is some of the leaves that I've just gathered. I can use them as the banner. I can like sew them onto things. It's really quite awesome. You don't need to stay within the fall colors. You can go with any colors that you wish, and it's really quite exciting. So this is another free pattern by our friends at Yarnspirations.com. Have a good one, and we hope to see you again in our next video. Bye bye now.